Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For the last video, we come up with a roadmap in this road. On that roadmap, what is our first step? It's a Linux. Yes, it's our little step for further. So in the Linux, first we need to see the few things before going for the advanced commands or else basic commands. We need to see how the basics works. In that, what is an OS? What is the difference between the Mac OS and the Linux and the feature? After that, what is virtualization? And then what are the steps of virtualization, like types of virtualization? Then why DevOps engineers loves Linux and even the cloud engineers also. So everything we will going to see in our first episode, these basic things. For the next, we are going to see the hands-on and the real-time examples. In this also, we need to explore it like a few real-time examples with the common scenario in our surroundings. So what we can able to get the real-time example, we will see it. Let's get into the screen. We will see on the screen itself. Yeah, hello guys. Let's get into the session. These are the things we are going to see in the episode one. Like what is an operating system? What is the difference between the Mac OS and the Linux and the features? Then why Linux for the DevOps engineer? And what is an virtualization? These are the things we are going to see for the first episode. Like why we need all of this before going for the advanced part, like any basic commands. If any commands we are hitting in the terminal, it has to be seen in the background, right? We can't able to see what it's happening. Then what are the things it's there. So that's why I am giving the brief introduction for before going for the advanced. So these are the things like what is an OS? If I say in terminology, OS is like what we can say like a Windows is an OS is a different architecture, different architecture to operate the application. So based on these, I am giving for the one simple example. Like assume your computer is a manager. In this manager, what are all the things you are commenting? Commenting like you are typing something. Example, what is the thing? So what and all you need to do? Everything you are saying to your computer, it is acting. So based on that, I give you a real time example. Like if you're having a on restaurant, like you're having a restaurant. In this restaurant, it's a kitchen, right? So in this, for the first, OS is a chef. You can assume OS is a chef. Then hardwares. What are all the hardwares we have? Like hardwares in the sense, like what are the hardwares we are using? Like a CPU, then a RAM, then disk. These are the things, ingredients and the tools, right? So after that, third coming for an application. If an application are the junior chef, okay. After this, how we can able to do the other things in the sense, assume what are the things we say here, OS, then hardware, then what are the things, application is the junior chef, right? So we'll interlink to our OS part. What are the things like without the head chef like a OS, everyone could grab the ingredients randomly to through the trial and error method. So the OS keeps order like a manages the request then and makes sure the kitchen has run smoothly. If it is a head chef, it is like a authority to control everything, because what are the things we are going to perform based on this, it will work smoothly. Or else if anyone comes do something and all without OS means it will mess up and sometimes OS will be corrupt. So that's why we need to see how the hardware part is working, like a ingredient. If you put some more extra to the any ingredient for the food, it will destroy. So that's why we need go for the OS is the main show. What are the things we are going to perform? It is under the OS it seems. So coming for the next, we need to see like if it is any application has to be run, we need the OS. For this OS, these are the ingredients like a CPU, memory, and the disk. How smoothly the OS is actively working, based on that our application will be works. So after that, what is the difference? Like some people will say, I can run any application in anywhere, like Windows, I can run Mac and Linux. So simple comparison. We need to customize it for our requirement to run our application, right? Windows is an highly impossible. It will run, but in the not our certain tech. Whatever the application is on GUI level, like a graphic interface level. So simple comparison in this sense, like what are the things a Microsoft owner of this one, like a Windows, Microsoft, the Mac, then the Linux. This is the open source. This is the community, like a open source community Linux. See, these are the things having the restriction. Few things need to be like optimize, like in the sense what we can say it, customizable. We can't able to customize. It is very high risky to customize our Windows system. Then Mac also medium level we can able to do, but in Linux is the vast thing. We can customize each and everything in the same, yeah, step by step. Whatever the requirement, it will be there. Based on that, we can able to customize it. Say like this is sometimes the people might be thinking if it is getting any few things means we having a large community base for the Linux. This is the open source. Most of the things running in the world, 90 plus 90 plus server 90% of the server in the worldwide, it is running in the Linux server. I will give one example, real-time example in the sense, sorry, real-time example in this sense, like if your laptop is running in the Windows or the Mac, but when you are watching the Google, Netflix, and Instagram, right? These are the services running behind the Linux only. So why they use the Linux? This is these things, right? This is the fast, secure, lightweight, and the free of cost. Coming for the things of why Linux for the DevOps. As you know, as a DevOps engineer, we will learn we can manage the servers, containers, pipeline automation, and almost all the things we will run through the Linux part. For example, I will give you one real-time example. Imagine like for the basic part, I'm taking it as an AWS EC2. Okay. So imagine like if you are deploying any application for this EC2, like any application like an app, 9 out of 10 times the EC2 instances running in the Amazon Linux or else Ubuntu. Your Jenkins, like our Jenkins server or a Docker container, Kubernetes nodes, all are using the Linux. It is in the Linux. Under this, these things are running. Uh, So that's why we will recommend all of our DevOps engineer use Linux. Sorry. So learning Linux is not an optional. It's a fundamental of DevOps. Everything. So coming for this virtualization intro, like a simple understanding. What you mean by virtualization? First, we need to see like virtualization in the sense creating a multiple VMs like a virtual computer on one of the physical machine. See, each one having like a real system within its own OS, but they share some hardwares, right? They will share some hardwares. Like how I can explain it in the real time in the sense. Think we having a big apartment. We are having the big apartment. In this apartment, let's think this is our computer. Now our computer. Virtualization. Virtualization in this sense, multiple flats. Let's split into this building. Like apartment, these are the multiples building. Okay. In this, let's assume we are splitting the multiple flats as a VMs. This is the one VM. This is the one VM. Okay, each of its own tenant, each having this is the OS we can consider as this is Ubuntu I am running in this apartment like a VM. Here I am running like a OS of Amazon Linux. These are the things. So example, if you having the Windows on our laptop, we can install it like a virtual box or a VMware. Now inside that we can learn our run our Linux virtual machine. So now practically we can able to see without a code change without changing our main system. Means whatever system we having, we never changes. We will install it to the VM. In there we can perform it our next commands and all. So we will come up with an quick recap what and all we learned in this video. So OS is like a head chef, means what are the things OS is a headmaster, like a head chef. What are the things it will manage for the hardware? Then Linux is an open source. We are going for the Linux. Then DevOps, DevOps in the sense these DevOps. What are the things we are doing server managing container and the pipeline? It's under the Linux. It seems the virtualization run in our laptops smoothly with the VM level. So this is for this lecture. We will come up with an installation for the how we can able to install it the VMs in our local system in the Windows. We will see it on the next episode. Thank you for watching. Love you all.